give you a bit of background before we get on, is the People Supermarket has yellow t-shirts. We, myself and my two other co-founders, a guy called David Barry, who's in Regeneration, and another guy called Arthur Potts Dawson, who is eco-chef, warrior, Buddhist. You've got David Barry, I don't know, regeneration expert, can build things out of bricks. And then you've got me, who is a retailer. I just love shops, always worked in shops. And one of the things we did in the initial stages to sort of get awareness of our dream was to take a stand in what's called the Lambeth Country Show, which is in London. And for those people who don't know London very well, Lambeth is actually where Brixton is. And for those of you who know your riots pretty well, there's always a riot in Brixton. They just do it, And the Lambeth Country Show is the most urban country show in the country. It is absolutely the bizarrest place you can go to. It has reggae bands, it has sheep shearing competitions, it has the pony club, and it has farmers. And everything in between, and in fact there is a political village there which is only London can do well, which has teepees and everything in. It's fantastic to go, it blows your mind. Anyway, we decided to take a stand there, and we had one of those things, is what do we wear, as you do? And a bit of my knowledge told me that for people who have poor eyesight, the clearest things are yellow and black. So hence, we're yellow and black, nothing, it also happens to be my favourite colour. And what is also interesting is as we've progressed, we've had lots of the great and the good of branding experts came to give me advice and said, don't be yellow and black. No good brand has ever been yellow and black. And any brand of value has ever been yellow and black. And when I said, what about Selfridges? Yes. And when I said, what about Lufthansa? Woo! So all I can say is stick to what you choose, what you like, what you feel happy in, because it works most of the time. Okay, so as I said, Arthur, David and I had a dream. We met sort of fairly loosely in a coffee bar, introduced a bit like a networking event, a bit like this. And we sat there and we all moaned about the same thing. So we had 3 different people, different backgrounds, but all moaned about the same things. And the thing we moaned about was the damage that we believed supermarkets were doing to our cities, to our towns, to our people, and to our to food, to suppliers and farmers. And as I said, you can see that. You've got Arthur with his passion for food, you've got David with his passion for environment, and we with my passion for retailing. And it was quite incredible that we all had this same ugh. So we had a dream to create a supermarket that addressed those things. Why did we choose a supermarket? Because it's fairly easy. Yeah, we all know what a supermarket does. We've had it explained. Yeah, we all know when we go in there, we buy things, we go out. We know that it's a place where you trade. It just, there's a lot of them about. It's a successful retail model. Yeah, so that's why we chose it. And also, because that's what I happen to be, is a retailer. So we had this dream to create a supermarket that did things differently, that provided choices, that got healthy food into cities, that enabled people to use it as a social centre, that did all sort of 101 fantastic things. And that's what our supermarket looks like on the outside. It took us 2.5 years to open the doors. When we got it, it had been derelict don't say derelict, the people who owned it had basically closed the door and left. And they did that for 6 months. And it was actually opened originally about 40 years ago. It was one of the very first Tesco's convenience stores in London. And when we went downstairs and it was an absolute mess, we found crates that still had Tesco's emblazoned on them. We quite like that. It made us smile. But I don't know if you can see, the light's a bit poor, but this was where would have been the old Tesco butchery counter, which the people, so that was those are the original walls. And as I go through, I'll tell you, but we transformed it into a kitchen. So we had quite a lot of work to do. So, as I said, what is the business of the People's Supermarket? How do we make money? We are a convenience supermarket run as a cooperative. That's simple. Okay? What does that mean in terms of legislation and governance and all those things? What it actually means is that we are governed by the FSA. We're an IPS, an Industrial and Provident Society. Fantastic for those people in the co-ops, we love it. They were based in 1844, and not much has changed in terms of how you raise money, how you organise yourselves since 1844, which gives you some problems. But why did we choose a cooperative? We chose a cooperative because one of the big things that a big supermarket doesn't give you is ownership. And we wanted to be a supermarket that gave the people that took part in that ownership. So therefore, when our members join, they get a share. They have a direct say in what we do, and that was quite fundamental to us. The other thing about our business is we're sometimes called a social enterprise. And I struggle with this phrase because it means absolutely nothing when you talk to a bank, when you talk to a lawyer, when you talk to anybody. It has no standing in law, so you can't raise money on being a social enterprise. You can't raise interest on being a social enterprise. A social enterprise vaguely means that you are a nice person because what you do with your profits is you will do something nice with them. Doesn't mean a thing. And that is one of the big problems that we have going forward, is until government or people start to recognise that a social enterprise does more, then we'll have struggle. We will always be struggling with actually to try and get some very basic things coming through. So, completely different way of shopping. Can I just say that all the pictures you see have been taken by our members. I'll go on to explain our membership. All the graphics you see have been done by our members. So, how do we work? I've talked about members. We're a convenience store supermarket. We trade for over 100 hours a week. So our doors open at 8 o'clock in the morning, they close at 10 o'clock at night, Monday to Saturday. On Sunday we have a bit of a lie-in because we open at 10 and we close at 9. That's standard for London. I've talked about people joining us. Our members join us. We have over 1,100 members. They've given us £25 of their hard-earned money. And with that, we also expect some responsibilities from them. One of the key responsibilities is we ask them to give us 4 hours of their time a month to run the supermarket. What does running the supermarket mean? It could be doing the graphics that you've just seen. It could be taking the photographs. It could be the barrister who's just actually writing me a letter because somebody is complaining about something, yeah? That's her 4 hours. It could be the wonderful Tom here, lovely guy, doing his till duty. That's what it could be. What it doesn't do is give you cheap labour. So please don't think that our business model is any cheaper because we've got 1,100 members. It gives me 1,100 headaches, but it doesn't make it any cheaper because we actually employ 19 people. Why do we employ 19 people? Because there's things called health and safety legislation. We deal with cash. We have to have people responsible. We have to know that the doors are going to be open in the morning so the customers come in. Because members stroke volunteers are lovely, lovely, lovely people, but sometimes they just forget it's their shift. Yeah? We can't afford that. We have to keep going. We almost have to keep motoring. When we talk about the responsibilities that our members get and their ability to have a say in what we do, what you actually see there is our first annual general meeting with those yellow ballot papers. We actually took a small room in the Arsenal Stadium. They're working with us on a healthy eating campaign. And so, can you imagine it? We were so proud. Yeah, we started off, scrubbing shelves, and here we are in Arsenal Stadium voting on who should be on the board. It was absolutely fantastic. But it was their vote. I only have one vote, and in fact I'm paid, so I don't even sit on the board. So the members are very integral to how we actually work. One of the things, and I'm jumping about a bit because I know we've got a lot to cover, is we have what we call the story of the tomato. And it was quite interesting because this was actually originally drawn by one of our members, a lady called Geraldine, who actually works for the London food markets, so the farmers' markets around London. And she was trying to explain, what do we do with our food? Why is what we do, how we sell food, why is it different from a supermarket? And she talked about the story of the tomato. So we try and buy from small or medium producers. I use the word try because we can't always do that, but we try. And it goes into the people's supermarket for sale. If it's not sold, and if it's bruised or just a bit squidgy, I call it the Thursday morning bit. If you do a shop on a Friday, you've always looked in the fridge on a Thursday morning and you go, oh my God, what we got for tea tonight? It goes into the kitchen, the one that you just saw, and then we make it into soup. And we sell half litres of soup at £2. They're made fresh every day. If then it's not sold within 48 hours, because that's what how long we can keep it legally on the shelf for, we then send it down for our members to have for free, for their lunch or whoever's popping by. If it's not sold within or eaten within 24 hours, we then send it out to a local composting site or to the local council composting. And I can talk to you about that a bit later on if you want. And then what happens is, believe it or not, it goes there and people grow tomato plants. And it works because then we can buy back from them. Now that sounds like an amazing idyll. We have a growing community about 200 yards from where we are in central London. There are no green spaces, nobody's got a garden. You know, it's like spot the wildlife. There's a growing one called Calthorpe Food Growing Project, and we give them compost. We buy from them, if we're lucky, 18 bags of lettuce a week. Sometimes it's 12, sometimes it's 4. It's what they've got. We don't argue the price because they don't overcharge. And what we do is we sell it. £1.80 a bag for lettuce that is grown, lettuce tops mainly, with a nice few herbs in them, which is grown less than, 200 yards from the store? And we're doing more of that. So, we've talked about the problems. Another of our members, that's actually Amanda. For all of you who are selling products, you might want to make a note of Amanda. Amanda not only is a member, she's actually our product buyer for local products. Just a hint. Amanda at thepeoplesupermarket.org. What we say is, well, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to run a shop like ours? Yeah? Why wouldn't you do X and Y? And I'll go through some of the alternatives that we do. And I'm calling them men, but they're the big 4, yeah? 6 or however many there are. And often they would say, why would you? If we talk about a couple of things that was raised earlier on, we have a buying policy which was set by our committees and our members. And some of the buying policies I'll explain, but on groceries, we aim to sell a choice of 3. The cheap one, the brand, product with values. How do we define values? We don't really. So it could be local, it could be organic, it could be just nice. It could be dietary, a product with values. So if you take that to be ketchup, we sell a cheap ketchup, Best Buy, we sell Heinz ketchup, we actually sell the Isle of Wight tomato ketchup and Wilkinson's organic ketchup. Fastest selling ketchup is still Heinz, but we've actually just taken away the cheap ketchup. If you go to coffees, we actually sell, we've actually got rid of the cheap instant coffee, nobody wanted that. So we sell Nescafe, and then we sell fair trade direct coffee. Okay? That is how we've tried to do the offer. We're being pragmatic. We're saying you do want to buy your brands, but actually on the same shelf you will read across and you'll see the same. And that's when we then add also health products. So we have a huge range. We're opposite Great Ormond Street and about 4 in distance from a couple of hospitals. You'll actually see us offering gluten-free cakes next to very fat, wonderful chocolatey cakes made by Mr. McVitie, next to local ones made a couple of metres away from a bakery, because we want to give people that choice that they read. Okay, so this is a bit of us playing the supermarkets at their game. This is a bit of my background in retailing. So, if you take commercial, we say we have to be commercially sustainable, to be socially sustainable, to be environmentally sustainable. And it goes round in a circle. Yeah? And we keep that mantra in our mind at all times. So here are some of the ones, and I've got more, which I can dig out for you, but commercially, competition. When we set up in our street, we had a look down the street, and at the far end was a butcher. Been there donkey's years. So we don't sell much fresh meat. We sell one range of fresh meat from some farms down put under the brand of Devon Rose, so we can have good provenance, that we know they're happy cows. We don't sell what he sells. Because that actually has strengthened the street, the offer of the street. There's also a deli on the street that sells the most expensive organic meat. I'm sure you have to frame it rather than eat it. But that's fine. So the choice is in the street. If we were a large place that were taken over it, a Tesco's, an Asda, Walmart or Sainsbury's, do you think that we would have thought about Mr. Butcher at the end of the street? No. So we're working with the other businesses. But to them, they would say it's all about securing market share. Commercial honesty, applying lower margins to food with values. This is opposite. When you go in and you find your local produce or your specially made artisan loaf or your beautiful stuff in a supermarket, they will premium price it. We don't. We actually tend to premium price the brands because we just learnt that's what you buy all the time. So actually, if that's what you buy all the time, then we'll actually make you pay for it, and we'll actually try and encourage you to buy something else if price is an issue. Part of what our members get, apart from the right to vote and the lovely chance to work for 4 hours every 4 weeks in a store, is they get 10% discount. That is not their driving force, we've since discovered from being there. But obviously, if they want to use their 10% discount on lower price products that tend to be healthy for you or local, it just makes it that bit easier. That's being clever, that's using commercial retailing skill, that's also helping us get our message across about what we want to do. Commercial transparency. I said that a social enterprise doesn't carry any weight in law. A cooperative is the same as a limited company. We're not a charity. We get no tax breaks, no government subsidies, no discretionary rates, nothing. But then they can get offshore banking. We couldn't even get a bank account when we opened. No high street bank would even allow us to open an account because we were too risky. Okay? We got around £25,000 worth of funding to start. A supermarket normally costs of our size £1 million to set up. So when you look at them redeveloping these large swathes of industrial wastelands, they're actually being supported to do that. If we went in there, or the People's Supermarket went in there, there'd be very little support. So, going on to what we talk about, our social sustainability. Us. We want to be community invited, as in people want us there, or they don't want us there. And why are we community invited? Because without the members who live locally, 75% of all our members live within walking distance of the store, we wouldn't be able to function. But what happens with one of the big fours? They just arrive. They come down like a big shiny spaceship, don't they? Bristol Stokes Croft. Lovely. Yeah? I actually wrote to Mr. Tesco's at about Bristol Stokes Crofts, and I said to him, I'll tell you what, I'll do you a favour. We'll take the store. Yeah? Just walk away, leave it. These are the reasons why, because I know you're a professional man and you'd like to know why you'd give me a store worth a couple of £1 million. Right? The reasons are that one act of philanthropy would change people's views about Tesco in the community. Yeah? We would actually work with you and help you with our knowledge that we've gained over the last 14 months think about how you would get local food into local stores, how you would reconnect, because that's what we've got experience of reconnecting with the community. We could do that for you. Yeah? I got a letter back eventually, and it said, the people in Bristol Stokes Crofts really want us there. Did you think, ooh, firebombs? Not really, no. We do work with the local community. We sponsor the Bristol Fun Run. Great. Yeah, very noble thing to sponsor. Fantastic. Okay. And we also sell fair trade and organic products. You know, you look at it and you think, oh yeah, you've just ticked another box there, haven't you? You haven't actually thought outside of the box. You haven't actually thought, what is it? All you've thought about, as we said, is growing the market share, your premium prices, because you're in your organic and your fair trade, and we're all lovely people. And so we're still going to be in that community. Social sustainability. It's all about being part of it. We talked about, again, the guys talked about the emotional value, why you want to be there. We are as multicultural as London can be. We're in the borough of Camden, and you can look outside of our shop and you can see where Rupert Everett lives in his £4 million, two-bedroom flat, and behind him, which I think must be a fantastic view from his bedroom window, is a tower block, which is the Somalian ghetto of London. It's fantastic. I love it. Which means that our membership is open to all. Our shop is open to all. You don't have to be a member to shop there. 6,000 people a week come and shop in our shop. Open to everybody. But what that means is that we are now catering for everybody. We're cutting across social divides. We're becoming more we're bringing people together that would never have worked together before. We have a High Court judge at one end. We've got people with severe alcohol addictions at the other end. You put on one of those lovely yellow T-shirts, you're a member. You're starting to be part of a community. How do they get you to be a part of their community? They give you a loyalty card. Yeah? The more you spend, the bigger you are in their community. Doesn't matter to us. Put on your T-shirt. We love you. That's Akhtar. Akhtar will tell you the tale of the day he was going down the road with a member shopping, because she asked would she help him, because she has 4 cats. And you know the big cat litter bags? She can't carry them, so he's going down the road. And she actually said, oh, could you wait here while I do more shopping? And she left her bag with all her credit cards and everything with Akhtar. Yeah, it's quite nice, yeah. And off she goes. And then she left him with the house keys because she then realised she was running late. Could he drop it back in her house for her? Yeah. If she'd seen Akhtar without his yellow T-shirt and his hoodie, which he was wearing about 10 minutes beforehand, would she have done that? No. Her and Akhtar, best mates. Okay. What also is about having control. We talked about this vote. We have members' committees. These are where little groups of like-minded people have formed together. Yeah? We have an environmental committee, we have a marketing committee, which has about 97 people on it. We have all sorts of committees. We have a health and safety committee, which is just me. So, but they set the policies. Yeah? So they set the policy, for example, on what we should buy with regards to fruit and vegetables. What is our policy on that? So the hierarchy is UK seasonal, UK, European seasonal, European, bananas. Yeah? Why do we sell bananas? The largest selling fruit in the UK, would be mad not to. Commercially, we can't afford not to. So they set those policies. What does that policy mean in practice? How do we stick to it? If you think of the apple season in Europe, you can't buy an apple that comes from Europe outside of June, probably from the end of May, depending obviously on where we are. I know I've got some apple farmers here. Probably from May-ish to about August. You can't buy an apple. Right? So we didn't sell any. We sold peaches, nectarines, plums, pears, quinces, or whatever they were. I don't know, I just like going there sometimes. But what is this? What have we got now? Doesn't matter. That's what we sell. We don't sell apples. You go to Tesco and say, tell you what, don't sell any apples. Just because they come from New Zealand, from Chile, tell you what, don't sell them. You can still make money. That's what we did. Centralised policies made in head office. Those were decisions made by the members. My job as a CEO is to make it make money with their policies that we decide. Environmental supply chain. So that's one of our lovely members there with the smallest carrot in the world. So for us, it's all about, for us, as I said, you know, a Heinz tin of baked beans isn't seasonal, it's a necessity. You have it on the till. And, you don't have to spend efforts organising that. It's a computer, and you press the button, it comes in, put it out. We put all our efforts into providing good food. Yeah, we sell beans. Yeah, fine. They do it themselves, you know. This is where we put our effort in. Seasonal, local, limited volumes. We have people turning up, literally, with trays of tomatoes because they've got too many. With buckets, because Uncle Pat has given them a bucket of Jerusalem artichokes. Yeah? And we either buy them from them, if that's what they want, or they will just give them to us. And Uncle Pat's Jerusalem artichokes went up with a sign that said Uncle Pat's Jerusalem artichokes. Yeah? From wherever it was. Mass-produced, high volume, available all year and worldwide. Yeah? We'll have to wait for next year, won't we, for Uncle Pat, with these Jerusalem artichokes coming up. And that is what also, when we talk about going in and finding something new and discovery and all this stuff, that's what we do. One of the other things that people talk about in our fruit and veg is it smells. I love the thing when they're saying, oh yeah, we should bring smells back in. Why does our fruit and veg smell so beautiful? We couldn't afford the air conditioning. So when you walk in and people say to me, oh, the smell of those strawberries, Kate, all I can think of is, oh God, they're going off. Yeah? But you buy strawberries from all your supermarkets, chilled. We have to have fresh fruit and veg because we have got nowhere to store it cold enough overnight. So every day we turn it over. Partly why we have a lot of waste, and that's why we now have a kitchen. Every day we cook things with. But it's just thinking differently to make it work. So, food waste. Food waste to food wonder. We process about 1 tonne a month of food waste. In fact, we now bring in from other people. Then 6.7 million tonnes a year are thrown away, landfill. Some of you will be aware of that. Some of your products will have been rejected. Some of you will have to be throwing them away or just ploughing them back into the land. We try not to do that. In that kitchen that you saw that has one cooker, looks like because we got it from IKEA for nothing, we currently sell about £2,500 worth of ready meals, whether that be soups, crumbles, vegetable lasagnas, you name it, a week. We employ 4 chefs to make the meals. Every time you come in and buy a ready meal from us, it's one we've made ourselves, it's got no additives. It could be made, I'm just thinking this week we had Christophe in, who's a French charcuterie. We've probably got Igor in today, who's a very amazing, heavily tattooed Romanian vegan chef. So again, you know, that's London for you, isn't it? You know, that's what we do, that's what we are. You come in and it's fantastic. We cannot keep up. We don't lie. We tell you it's food waste. We tell you that's a squidgy tomato. People find squidgy tomatoes and give them to us. Can you make that into soup? Yeah, they love it. That's what we're all about. It makes commercial sense. Why would you throw away something that you bought? Unless you're charging the cost to somebody else. Okay, environmental. Recycled, reuse, pass on. We talked about those carrier bags. You know, we said they all stood there with their carrier bags. We get people to bring in their carrier bags. We have a big, it's actually a ball now, that's an old picture. We have a ball, and so therefore people say, can I have a carrier bag? Can you get one out of the ball? Yeah? So these are what people bring in. We do sell plastic carrier bags, 5p. You could eat them probably, they're so healthy. And we also sell those canvas ones as well. They sell really well. But yeah, that's what we do. It's just a different way of thinking about it. Someone says to me, yeah, but if you had it branded, if you had a plastic bag branded, you're advertising Tesco's. Hey, they've got enough advertising, they don't. You know, me in a bag walking down, doesn't matter. I'd just rather it not going and clogging up with waste somewhere. What do they do? Refit, upgrade and throw away. What does that mean for us? Fantastic. Where do their old fridges go? Where do everything that they have that they throw away go? Well, a lot of it came into our shop. Thank you very much, Mr. M&S. So, I'm just going to end now. I think I'm doing all right for time, am I? She wants me to cut. That one was just any thoughts. I know we're going to have a cup of coffee, and I've raced through it, and there's lots more I could tell you, but if you want to just catch up with me, please do. Thank you very much.